Take me back, dear Lord, to the place where I first received you. Take me back, dear Lord, where I first believed. Hi everyone, and welcome to another lesson in our series dealing with the basics for beginners and amateurs. Now, in our last lesson, we looked at the construction of a major scale, and so we focused on the C major scale. That's where our focus was the last time we were here. Now, what I would like to do today is to share with us a very simple method or formula for not only playing the C major scale using white keys, but playing all 12 major scales on the keyboard. But just before we do that, a couple of pointers. The distance, the smallest distance that is, between two notes on the keyboard is what we refer to as a semitone. So this is C, this is C. The distance between this note and this note, or this key and this black key, is a semitone. It's a semitone when it's resting immediately beside the key or note. So this note, which is C sharp, is a semitone distance away from C, while this note, which is D, is a whole tone away. So this is a semitone from C, this is a tone from C. We also refer to the semitone as a half step and the whole tone as a whole step. So notice again that we have groups of 2 black keys and 3 black keys. As we have said before, black keys represent sharps and or flats. So when we sharpen a note, we play the black key to the right of that note. So if we say C sharp, this is C, then C sharp would be the black key immediately to the right. Now, the flat, on the other hand, lowers the note by a semitone. So this is B on my keyboard, and my B flat is the black key immediately to my left. This is C. This is C sharp, the black key immediately to my right. This is G. G sharp is the black key to my right. This is G, but G flat is the black key to my left. Good. So now we understand sharps and flats. Good. So now here's the formula that I want you to learn so that you can be in a position to play all 12 major scales. Formula is simply find the first note of the scale that you wish to play. You move up 1 whole step, so you skip a key or a note. Skip a key, another whole step, then you go to a half step. Notice there is no key between these. Another whole step, skip this, another whole step, skip this, another whole step, and you're back at C. So the formula is the key note, 1 whole step, another whole step, followed by a half step, another whole step, another whole step, another whole step, and you complete your scale. So if we were to play the G major scale, we start on the note G. We skip a note, one whole step, skip a note, another whole step, to a half step, another whole step, another whole step, another whole step, half step, and we are in G. If we are playing the F major scale, we start on the note F. Skip a note, one whole step, skip another note, another whole step, a half step, skip a note, another whole step, another whole step, another whole step, and we're at F. So the formula, key note, followed by whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step, and you will be able to play all 12 major scales. Now, I suggest that you practice all 12, starting with the C. Then you could go to your F. You could go to your B flat. And so on. So try practicing all 12 major scales using that formula. All right? And with that, you will be in a good position to move forward with your playing. All right. Now, as part of today's lesson, I want to introduce you to the subject, chords. As the deer panted for the water, so my soul longed after you. That phrase or line from a song that I just did a while ago, I used chords to play that phrase or line of a song. So what is a chord? A chord is any group of 3 or more notes that are played at the same time. So 3 notes. And they are played at the same time. That's a chord. If we play them this way, that's still a chord, but that's what we call the arpeggio style of playing the chord. But for now, let's focus on playing all 3 at the same time. And what you have here now is your C major chord. And this time we're dealing with triads. Triads meaning 3. So we're speaking to 3 note chords as the very basic that we need to learn. So how do I form my chords? What I'd like you to understand is that the 7 notes of the major scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and back to your C. Let's number them. So C is 1, D is 2, E is 3, F is your 4, G is your 5, A is your 6, B your 7, and you're back to C. So refer to those as the various degrees of the scale. So C is the first degree, D is the second degree of the scale, and so on. To form a simple basic triad, a 3-note chord, the C chord, this is the easy way to remember it. We start with the key note or the tonic, which is the main note. You want to play a C chord, C would be your first note. Then you play the 3rd note of the scale, which is E, and the 5th note of the scale, which is G. So you form your triad on the 1st, 3rd, and 5th degrees of the major scale. So that's how you get your C chord. C, E, G. And it's the same thing if you're playing your F or constructing your F chord. Start on the first note, F, find the third. 1, 2, 3. This is your third. 4, 4, 5. So this is your 1, 3, 5. And that's your F chord. So we have learned our C chord or F chord. Now we're going to go for the G chord. These are the three that we're working with today. We start on the note G. Find the third, which is B, and your fifth, which is D. You can play it with either this finger or your fourth finger, and that's your G chord. Play it in your left hand. You can determine which finger you feel more comfortable using. So now you know to form your major chords, the triads, that is 3-note chords. It's the first note of your major scale, the third note of your major scale, and the fifth note of your major scale. That's why it's important to know the scales well enough so you know the numbers and you know the different degrees on which to form your chords. So I can play many songs using C chord, F chord, and my G chord. All I have to do is to move them around in what we call a progression, which is another subject that we will discuss later on. So let's see what song we could sing while playing these three basic chords. Mary had a little lamb. Go to my G here, little lamb. And back to my C now. Little lamb. Mary had a little lamb. Its fleece were white as snow. I use 3 chords to play that song. The key is to know the progression of the chords and the progression of the song. So we went from the C to G, and then we said it's fleece, and we're back to the G as snow. So basically we use 2 chords. Now we could still sing this line of the song, Mary had a little lamb, using multiple chords. I'm just getting us to understand the basic, the 3-note chords and how these are widely used. Later on, as we progress further, we'll talk about how we can build on these chords and extend these chords to make the sound and the progression more interesting. So I trust you learned something from this lesson, and I look forward to seeing you next time. But do remember to subscribe and to share this video with all those music enthusiasts out there who want to learn something new. Take care.